Shalom, welcome to my channel, the Hebrew Bible. This is Moses Gumadi, and in this video we'll talk about the word Ramoth, or sometimes Ramoth. So this is of course in the context of Trump Heights that they built. I'm going to shortly talk about it, where the word used is Ramoth, Trump. Okay, so we're going to look at biblical phrases or places names such as Ramoth Midspe, Ramoth Gilead, Ramathaim Sofim, and of course Ramoth Trump. So what is this Ramoth or Ramoth, etc.? We're going to look at. We're also going to look at Atbash cipher, by the way. So just stay on. It's very little interesting things coming up in this video. Now coming back to this picture that I came across the other day. Well, I think this was several years ago, but then my mind had not gone to that. And I just happened to see this recently, a couple of days ago. And I thought, hey, you got this Hebrew text here. Let's do a quick video. People might have seen this. And there are a couple of lessons that we could learn from the Bible from similar phrases. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. This Ramoth Trump, by the way, Trump Heights, is somewhere a bit north of Sea of Galilee in the Golan Heights area. So up in the north. Okay, that's approximately where it is. And of course, the word Ramoth means heights. Heights. Heights as in there is a hilly place and just it is at a bit elevated location. So that's what it is. Ramoth means heights. And it can also be pronounced as Ramoth as an alternative. Now it comes from the root Ramah. Ramah, which is a height or a high place. Right? A high location or a high place where some people offered indeed sacrifices. In fact, this word Ramah was the place where Samuel the prophet was born, and that is his hometown, Ramah. That's the very same Ramah, and if you make it into plural, then it will become Ramoth, okay, or Ramoth. So there is a similar word, by the way, with respect to this high place, which is Ramah. There's another word called Bama. It's mentioned only once in Ezekiel 20 and 29, but this Bama is also taken up in the Greek language, which then it becomes in Greek Bema or B-E-M-A. People say Bema, judgment seat, based on the New Testament. So if you have heard the term Bema judgment, that Bema judgment, B-E-M-A, which actually comes from Bama, which is a high place. Bema means it's an elevated platform or something like that. In fact, that term is also used in the synagogues where they put something a bit higher, at a higher level. I think somebody uses that. I think the Bema is used in the synagogues as well, if I'm not wrong. But in any case, this is also technically, it's related in terms of the meaning, not through etymology. Ramah and Bama are totally different words. Right, so now let's look at the first occurrence of this phrase, Ramoth Midspe. Ramoth Midspe. So like similar to Ramoth Trump, etc. So we're going to find some words in the Bible. We have it here in the book of Joshua, Yehoshua 13:26. We read that, Vayiten Moshe Lemate Gad, to the tribe of Gad, Moses gave what? Livnei Gad, to the children of Gad, Lemishpechotham, to their families, etc. What has he done? He has given all these areas, and from Heshbon, Heshbon ad Ramoth Midspe. So that's where we read Ramoth Midspe is how it is translated in the King James. Ramoth Midspe. Ramoth Midspe basically means heights of the Midspe. What is the Midspe? Midspe. Okay, so because there's an article and a dagesh in M, so you double it. So what is the meaning of Midspe? Midspe means it's like a watchtower. It's a place where the spies or the soldiers stand there and look out for any incoming enemies, incoming armies, other guys who might want to intrude, and those sort of things, right? So they generally choose a higher place from where they would have built a tower or something like that, and they watch out from there. It's a watchtower or a place of looking out, a lookout place. Okay, that's a Midspe. But there are alternative uses of this word called Mitzpah. Now, Midspe is not a single village or a town in Israel. In fact, there are some who think there is only one, but then actually, in fact, probably, there are several of them, Midspe, all over Israel. So this is the Mitzpah. This is Mitzpah and Midspe. Both refer to the same. Midspe is masculine, Mitzpah is feminine. Okay, that's all it is. Ramoth is again, as we said, Ramoth is heights, and so Ramoth Midspe would be the heights of watchtower. Now, why I brought in Ramoth once again is because I wanted to show you the Atbash cipher being applied to this word Ramoth. When you apply this word Atbash cipher to Ramoth, Resh Mem Tau. Oh, by the way, Atbash cipher, if you're not familiar with it, I did a separate video. I will leave a link to that video below in the description. Atbash basically means Aleph, Tau, At, and Bet, Shin, Bash. So what you do is you take the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, put Aleph to Chaf, and then after Chaf comes Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ain, Pe, Tzadeh, Kof, Resh, Shin, Tau. So you basically fold them up in between. So there are 22 alphabets. Take 11 alphabet and another 11 alphabet in the reverse direction. Map them like the way it is. So the first letter maps with the last letter, and the second letter maps with the second letter from the end, etc. And you substitute the letters, try to basically change the word into something else and use it as a cipher or a code. Okay, this is used in the Bible several times, and I've done a video on that, to which, as I said, I will leave a link. Now, if we transform this Ramoth into Atbash cipher, Resh Mem Tau, so Resh becomes Gimel, Mem becomes Yod, and Tau becomes Aleph, and it becomes Ge. So Ge, as not in English G-A-Y, of course, this Ge means a valley. Valley is the word. Interestingly, look at the opposite meanings. Ramoth is heights, and if you transformed into Atbash cipher, then it becomes a valley. Very interesting, and that's why I thought I'll show you that. Ge Ben Hinnom or Gehinnom is the name for the hell, the hell which is there in Jerusalem. Okay, Ge Ben Hinnom or Gehinnom. So that Ge basically means valley in Hebrew. Right. Now let's come back to the word Mitzpah or watchtower or lookout. Using I want to show something about Mitzpah, which is why now I want to come back to the Atbash cipher. And there is a well-known Atbash code, which obviously they applied the Atbash code to the Tetragrammaton, the Lord's name, YHVH. And if you apply the Atbash cipher to the Tetragrammaton, you get Mem Tzadeh Pe Tzadeh. So, Mem Tzadeh Pe Tzadeh. So, Mads Pats. I can say you can pronounce like that maybe. So this is a very familiar one to the Kabbalists and to those who play with the Hebrew letters and gematria. Hey, by the way, we teach a lot of grammar in this in this channel. We try to make it scientific, properly according to the text, etc. What prepositions are used, what nouns are used, and what kind of verbs, and what tenses or what aspects, all that stuff. Yes, this is not grammar, obviously. Atbash, except that Atbash cipher is used in the Bible, but it doesn't follow any grammar. So whatever I'm saying here, just take it with a pinch of salt. Now it is very familiar. It is. I have not come up with this one. These guys have already done it. Some people have been using the Atbash cipher of the Lord's name. It turns out it is Mem Sadeh Peit Sadeh. And the reason why I wanted to bring this is because the word Midspe or Midspa, watchtower, lookout, has, interestingly, I have noticed. I mean, just look at those letters, and that's what I thought. The first three letters are the Atbash transformation of Yod-Heh-Vav, but the He remains. So instead of transforming the last letter, if you leave it, then what you get is Midspa. Okay, so which basically means looking out. Okay, or, well, look, is there anything that you can derive from it? Nothing grammatical, nothing scientific, so, take it with a pinch of salt. Now, there's another word called mitzvah. Mitzvah means commandment, and this word, interestingly, is a result of, well, it is not a result of, this is a proper mitzvah. There is no technical relationship between mitzvah and the four-letter name of God. Neither is there any grammatical, technical relationship between mitzvah and the name of God. We're just trying to play games here. Okay. As, the Kabbalists do all those sort of things, and we're just doing something similar, you can say. Okay. So, Mem Tzadeh are the Atbash transforms of Yod-He, and then if you keep this as it is, then it becomes a commandment. So if you want to take a spiritual meaning of this watchtower and the commandment and their relationship to the name of God, you might as well take it with a pinch of salt. It's just up to you personally, obviously, because it's not a grammatical thing to do. Coming back to the word Ramoth then, right? We have this word Ramoth occurring in a different way. In the book of Samuel, I said Ramah. Ramoth comes from Ramah. Ramah is the hometown of Samuel. The book of Samuel, chapter 1, verse 1, begins like this. Vayhi ish echad min ha-Ramathaim Sofim, mehar Ephraim. Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Sofim of Mount Ephraim. That's what the text says. Now here, Ramathaim Sofim means the double heights, Ramathaim. Ramah, Ramoth, plural. Ramathaim. There is a ha-Ramathaim. Actually, there is a the, that's why. So Ramathaim is plural but dual. Dual means two. So that's why I put the double heights. Well, you could translate probably better. Sofim. Sofim means watchmen, or those who actually watch out. Ramathaim Sofim. Very interesting word there. The idea is you look from the heights. You watch out for the enemies from a high place. And there is a double here, Ramathaim, and then this is a dual. And this is, of course, plural. Sofim, as I said, means watchman, and it comes from the root Safa, Tzadeh Fe. By the way, Midspe, I said Midspe, right? The Adbash transform of the Lord's name. You have these letters right here, Safa. Safa means to look out, which is why Sofim means watchman. Safa means to look out. This is a verb root, from which comes the word Midspe. There you go. We've closed a circle. So we began with Ramathaim Sofim, and Sofim is a watchman. Watchman comes from the word to look out. It's Safa, and this Safa verb transforms into the noun Midspe. So the word lookout becomes the watchtower, a place where you look out from. That's the watchtower. That's the connection to Midspe. Right, another Ramoth. Let's look at another Ramoth in the book of Joshua 28. We read here with et Ramoth Gilad Mimete Gad. Again, the tribe of Gad. And we also have Golan here, Golan. The Golan in Bashan, which is basically Golan Heights. So these are basically, these Bezer and Ramoth Gilead, Ramoth Gilead, which is Ramoth in Gilead, right? Gilead, right? Out of the tribe of Gad and Golan. These three cities are the cities of refuge where when a person, there is a manslaughter happens, a manslayer who kills without an intent but kills nevertheless another person, and then their relatives might seek revenge, and therefore he flees. And when he flees, if he remains in these cities, the cities of refuge, then he is by law not allowed to be killed as long as he is in the city of refuge, and he must stay in the city of refuge. If he comes out, if they kill him, then they are not guilty. So this guy has to go run off to these cities of refuge, and he must stay there until the death of the high priest. After that, he can come back. So these are the cities of refuge, and one of them is Ramoth Gilead. Ramoth Gilead. So here you see there's an extra aleph introduced, but it basically means the same. There are other places where this aleph is not used in relation to Gilead only, the heights of Ramoth in Gilead. Okay, Ramoth Gilead means Ramoth in Gilead. What is Gilead? I'm going to talk about. Here we have Ramoth Gilead. So previously Ramoth with an aleph, but here there is no aleph. Vayomer el Yehoshaphat hatelech iti hamilchama Ramoth Gilead. So here Ahab the king is asking Jehoshaphat the king. Ahab the king is the king of Israel, asks the king of Judah, Jehoshaphat, and he says, will you go with me to battle to Ramoth Gilead? Why? Because the Ramoth Gilead is ours, and we want to get it back from the Syrians, because the Syrians have taken. So, you can read the story in 1 Kings 22. So here we have this spelling, Ramoth Gilead, which is translated as Ramoth Gilead, okay, which is actually pronounced Gilead. It means a hard, rocky place, apparently. But I think there is a different meaning. I think this is derived differently. Gilead, just remember this, Gilead. There is a verse in the book of Genesis in 31, I think. Okay. So when Jacob fled with his wives and children from his father-in-law Laban without telling them, and they go off and they set out, and Laban comes with a lot of men in pursuit of Jacob, and they meet in certain place, and before Laban could meet Jacob, God appears to Laban in a dream and says, hey, don't say good things or bad things to Jacob, be careful, right? And then finally they both talk to each other, and they establish a covenant and sort of an agreement that hey, we're not going to fight each other or something like that. Okay, so let's read this. Vayomer Lavan Hagal Haze Ed Beni Uvenecha Hayom Alken Kara Shemo Gal Ed. So what Laban is saying is this heap, Hagal Haze, this heap, Ed, that is witness, Beni Uvenecha, between me and between you. What is Ed? Ed is a witness. What is the witness? The gal. Gal is a heap. They brought up all the stones together and made into a heap, is what we read in the previous verse. So then, Gal Ed is the name that was given to this place. Gal Ed, right? If you actually read the previous verse, you will find that Laban called it Jegar Shahaduta, and Jacob called it Gilead, which is heap of witness. Now look at these letters. They are the same letters as Gilead. Gilead, hard rocky place, Gilead. Okay. So what does this mean? Is there a relation? Of course there is a relation between the two. And is this the same place? It is indeed the same place, because we read in the context that actually Jacob had come via Gilead. You can read that chapter there in Genesis. So what Gal means heap, it also means wave or a billow. But it has other meanings as well. It could also mean like mound. So the heap is not just the heap, but it's a circular heap. It's like a mound. And so the gal also has the meaning. Gol and gal has the meaning of a circle or a round. So Gilead could mean possibly a circle of witness or a mound of witness. A mound, surely it is a mound of stones. But you could interpret it as a circle of witness. I'm just wondering if there is any relationship between this circle of stones that is found, but somewhere in that area, not Gilead, but maybe perhaps a little bit up north towards the same area near the Golan Heights. I don't quite know exactly where this is. There is you can Google this one, stone circle Rephaim. So you'll find this one. So there is a big stone circle there. There are lots of stone circles. Here in England too, there are a couple of stone circles in Avebury, etc. So maybe that's what Gilead means. It's a circle of stones, which is a witness. It could be a mound with stones or a circle of stones or something like that. Okay. Here we read in the book of Hosea, in chapter 12, both the Gilead and Gilgal mentioned in the same place. Here we read, Im Gilad Aven, Ach Shav Hayu Ba Gilgal, Shevarim Zivveku. So if Gilead or Gilad is wicked, surely they are worthless. In Gilgal they sacrifice the bulls. So here we have Gilead and Gilgal mentioned in the same place. Here we have this Gimel Lamed essentially. So, and it means wheel or something that rolls, wheel, Gilgal. And Galgal is also another word used for wheels. And Golgotha. Golgotha is the word from where Golgotha comes. It is called a skull, but basically Golgotha, I think, has a relationship with this as well, which is round, basically. It's round, circular. So all these words, there is a Urdu word, I think Hindi word, I think it comes from Urdu. Gol. Gol means round. I think it is linked to this as well. Galgal is wheel and rolling. And there is another word, Galil, because this root comes from Gimel Lamed Lamed, Galal. And so Galil, which is Galilee, I don't know if it is because of rolling meadows, or I don't know why it is called Galilee, but it means turning or folding, which again is used in the sense of rotating, wheeling, rounding, circular, etc. So that brings us to the end almost. We have Ramoth, the trump. The way it is written is the last phase, final Sofit form is not written in the sign, well, in the whatever sign they have there. They put the regular fe. And interestingly, you will find that mem fe, mats pats, right? We were saying the Lord's name contains the mats pats letters after Atbash. It turns out the equivalent of yod and the vav are right here. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you liked it. It's a bit of a potpourri, or what do you call, just tidbits, I think, with a few scriptures. Hopefully you like it. Please do like the video, subscribe to my channel, click the bell icon. Also comment below, and I will see you again with another video as soon as I can. Thank you very much.